आ जाओ,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
बैठो। Let's talk about the current issues.
Yes sir.
Okay. The Pakistan cabinet has been increased. How many federal ministers have been inducted? How many ministers of state?
Yes sir, the cabinet has swelled up. However, I cannot recall at the moment the exact number of ministers that have added up in the ministries.
What is the message you get when in this way almost 24 minister, MOS and advisors are inducted in the cabinet? What is the message to you or to the citizens?
It is that the country is already going through a tough time and we need administrators at different levels. So in my opinion, I believe that it is for reforming and making the functionalities of the government more efficient. So I believe that is the message that I would take from this initiative.
One of the subject was international relations.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me that after World War II, there was a Land Lease Act 1941, which was passed by the British legislature. Do you recall anything? When Roosevelt and Churchill, they met and they decided that part of some land was handed over to USA.
No, sir. I cannot recall it at the moment.
ठीक है ना? इसको जाके देखना है.
Okay, sir.
So how do you analyze the foundation of democracy in any country? What are the basic principles?
So for democracy, it is about people representing the country and people giving mandate to the representatives of the country, and it is also about civil liberties and prosperity and progress of the country. The sole purpose of democracy is to give them right to the people, as the sovereignty in the Western world lies in the people, and they give mandate to the power holders, and that's how democracy works in democratic countries.
Pakistan is passing through a crucial stage and we are seeing a lot many problems. What do you think? What are solutions for this? What are the proposed solutions which you will suggest on the part of diplomacy or on the part of political process or on the part of economic side?
So the two most important issues that Pakistan is going through currently are terrorism and economic issues. And for economic issues, it is for economic issues, the reforms should be the increase in the tax base. For instance, we know that the tax base of Pakistan is extremely low. World Bank states that for any country to prosper, it should have a tax base of around 15%. However, for Pakistan, the tax base is currently it has increased up to 10.8%. However, in the recent years, it had been 9.7% or around 9%. So Pakistan needs to increase its tax base. And secondly, the informal economy, that is one of the largest chunk of the economy of Pakistan, needs to be formalized and integrated into the formal economy of Pakistan. So these two are the major reforms that Pakistan needs to take in the economic sector. For terrorism, Pakistan, particularly Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, are going through hard times. And the militants for the terrorism side, National Action Plan should be strengthened and implemented in its true spirit. And the funding of the militants needs to be choked out. And the narrative of the militant organizations should be separated from the people, the residents of those respective provinces. For instance, BLA represents the Balochistan people, allegedly. So the provinces and the federal government need to take initiatives to separate the voices of the militant organizations from the innocent people, voices of Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa.
Thank you.
Zarlashta, foreign service is your first choice.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between foreign policy and diplomacy?
Ma'am, foreign policy is the policy or the state objectives, and diplomacy is the means or instrument through those objectives or policies are achieved.
Recently, rather today, Zelensky met Trump. What do you think? Were they exercising diplomacy?
No, ma'am. If we look into the matter, the way the President Donald Trump and Zelensky had the meeting in the Oval Office, that were beyond the norms of traditional diplomacy.
You're right. It's beyond the norms of traditional diplomacy, but was it diplomacy?
Yes, ma'am. They were. That was a part of diplomacy on the part of Zelensky to meet Donald Trump and to negotiate the terms of the minerals or the rare metal steel and about the Russia-Ukraine war. So yes.
Why didn't he sign the agreement?
Ma'am, due to the harsh conditions of Donald Trump, that is why he didn't sign the agreement.
Thank you.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS-PMS preparation. CSS-PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSPs पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी।
Thank you, ma'am. Zarlashta, Destined for War. What is the key argument of this book?
So, Destined for War mainly argues the Thucydides trap that states that the rising power, the rise of a revisionist power instills fear in the status quo power, and in most of the cases they go to war. And in many cases in the world history, we see that had happened in World War I and World War II, and in the China and America context. This book was written, and it states that
Thank you. Okay, recently the students in Bangladesh, they have formed their own political party.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of that?
Yes, sir.
What is the name of that political party?
Students Democratic Council was formed by Students Against Discrimination.
Okay. Just be imaginative. What would be the future of NATO after 4 years of American President Trump presidency?
So NATO would be westernized, as America has been gearing up against the Western countries to raise their defense budget, and the United Kingdom and Germany and France are also seriously thinking about it. And the United Kingdom has stated that by 2027 they will increase their defense budget by around 3%. So and the other major economies of Western world are also gearing up to increase their defense budget and to increase their presence in the NATO. However, America has retreated and is stating that it would cut down its NATO budget. So there would be more say of the European countries in the NATO.
What would be the implication of American, of course, the way America is acting now and the way it is treating the European Union? What would be the consequences for America?
So America is going towards isolationist policies, and it is not new. There have been several presidents in the history of United States of America that have talked about isolationist policies and have retreated from international treaties. For instance, George Washington, there have been presidents that have declined American presence in the European world. So that would culminate in the declining power or declining sway of America in the European, not only in the European world but also in Asia, and that would pave way for China to fill that vacuum of America. And for the Western world,
And isn't America aware of that?
yes, sir, but
That it would be kind of leaving a gap which will be filled by China. And are they not aware of these consequences, implications?
Yes, sir. America is very much aware of the fact that China will be filling that gap, and Russia as well will be jumping in to fill that gap. However, the current president, Donald Trump, has more of a transactional policy, foreign policy, which indicates that if America is providing security umbrella to NATO countries, the European countries in return should be giving something to America. So for America,
Thank you. What is social mobility?
so social mobility is a concept of sociology which states that the people have the right to move from from lower social strata to upper social strata.
Last question. Vigilantism. Criminology. What is vigilantism?
Sorry, sir, I cannot recall it at the moment.
Please.
Okay, sir, thank you. Okay, tell me that what were the underlying principles of Wilsonian liberalism?
So, Woodrow Wilson had an idealistic liberal policies that were very much on the surface during the culmination of World War I. It stated about self-determination and the right of people, and it also talked about free seas, navigational rights in the free seas, and it also talked about rights of the people. And
Okay, what do you see relationship between Wilsonian liberalism and happening of Dumbarton Oak Conference?
sorry, sir, I cannot recall it at the moment.
Okay, you studied U.S. history.
That's it.
What is the relationship between Mayflower Pact and happening of American Revolution in 1776?
So Mayflower Pact basically happened when there was a wave of immigration from Europe to the Americas, and there were these pilgrims that were separatist in nature from the Church of England, and they fled England in the face of persecution.
Now relate this with the happening of American Revolution in 1776.
So these people actually wanted to have their own country where they could practice their own religion, and that is why they actually moved towards and mobilized towards taking independence from the English colonizers.
And there was a popular and famous slogan in 1776 regarding taxation and representation.
No taxation without representation was a popular slogan, and that was in the backdrop of excessive taxation that was put after the 7 Years' War.
US Constitution, there was no specific clause regarding slavery. Why?
So, as far as my limited knowledge is concerned about that, the drafting of the Constitution of United States of America was held by the people who were actually sympathizers towards slave owners. For instance, Thomas Jefferson was also a slave owner. So there was that's why I believe that there was no clause of slavery.
Tell me that in Minto Morley reforms, why popular demand of Indian National Congress regarding self-rule was accepted?
So Minto Morley reforms of 1919 was
1909. Yes.
1909. Sorry, sir, I stand corrected. It was 1909. The British were already going through a tough time, and there was an imperialistic outreach, overstretch, and the Muslims were also impressing the British for separate electorates. So I believe that was the reason that they accepted or conceded towards the demand of Congress for self-rule.
Okay, what was the idea behind the establishment of Mohammedan Education Conference?
Sorry, sir, I cannot recall it at the moment.
Okay, my last question is from international relations. NATO established in 1949. There was some certain idea behind the founders of this military alliance. Now, United States of America leading two different military alliances, AUKUS and QUAD. What are the basic mindset behind the formation of these military alliances?
So the mindset of creating AUKUS and QUAD is the same as that of creating NATO. For NATO, it was created against Soviet Union, and for Quad and AUKUS, it is established against China. So it is about the containment of rising powers. It was there in the NATO. It is there in establishing Quad and AUKUS.
You know, when in the balance of power of Europe, Germany was a rising power, and European powers did not accept Germany as a power. What happened? There happened a First World War. If United States of America will not accept it, China as a rising power, what do you see in the future?
So I do not see a large military conflict in terms of China, because Germany and Chinese have very different ideologies of worldview. China is a follower of Confucius, who states that the largest victory is not defeating the enemy in battleground, but it is defeating the enemy by destroying its will. So for China, it is about encircling the enemy. It's about entangling the enemy thickly by social and economic means, and that's what China is doing. It's sucking the economies of its adversaries. So I believe that China will play around its economic strength rather than its military strength.
Thank you. Good.
Thank you, sir.
चलें, let's conclude it.
Yes, sir.
कब है इंटरव्यू आपका?
So it's on 7th of March.
7th March.
Yes, sir.
चलो, रोजा रख के जाना.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. तो फातिमा, you are माशाल्लाह, you are improved version. ठीक है ना? You are prepared. आज फर्स्ट है, तो बाकी 6 दिन है, तो हिम्मत करो. कीप इट अप. अपना जो अपडेट चीज़ें हैं उसको रिव्यू करते रहो. यू हैव टू बी प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ. यू आर फाइन इन माय व्यू.
Thank you, sir.
ठीक है ना? कीप इट अप.
Thank
You
you.
have got 6 days.
Fatma, you are very well improved. अच्छी पर्सनालिटी है, इंटेलिजेंट हो, अच्छे जवाब भी दे रही हो. सो बस अब थोड़ा सा अपना काम रखना है, फोकस रखना है, and inshallah you're a winning horse. All our prayers are with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Zarlashta, encouraging to see you perform this way. Inshallah, you will do very well in the interview, and you are good to go for interview now. You are in that position. Inshallah, but keep track of the development because they are happening every day. So you may be caught off guard on that day. Yesterday, Trump did this thing, and what was the reaction? So have to be very current on all these issues. Gene Hackman is the actor who died day before yesterday. So all these developments are taking place. Otherwise, very good communication and good analytical skills. So that was very positive thing. Hope you will be doing marvelously well in your interview. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
आज बहुत अच्छे आपने आंसर्स किए. ग्रे एरिया सिर्फ एक लग रहा है, वो है इंडो पाक हिस्ट्री. उसमें मोहम्मदन एजुकेशन कॉन्फ्रेंस वाज अ डायरेक्ट रिएक्शन टू इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस की वजह से उन्होंने बनाई कि हम एजुकेशन पे फोकस करेंगे. ठीक है, क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट को देखिएगा, मुस्लिम्स वर नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ दैट मूवमेंट. तो इन चीज़ों को थोड़ा थोड़ा सा दोबारा स्टडी करके, ठीक है, बड़े फेवरेट क्वेश्चंस होते हैं इंडो पाक हिस्ट्री के इनके. ठीक है, बाकी आपका बहुत अच्छा कम्युनिकेशन, जैसे सर ने कहा कि आप बड़ी अच्छी से एक तरीके से चीज़ों को आर्टिकुलेट कर लेती हैं थ्रू कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. आपके बाकी आंसर्स बहुत अच्छे थे.
Thank you, sir.
विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट इन गुड
Thank you,
लाइफ.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Best
Thank
of
you,
luck.
sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.